to go over the report.
Yeah, talking about waivers first, Chairman, we have waivers listed including plans and profiles of utility layouts, EIS and tree protection management. We recommend a waiver for hearing purposes. The site's already been looked at pretty rigorously as part of the CAFR permit process, which I'm sure the applicant is going to testify to. And anything that we require additional with respect to funding utility layouts, we can deal with in compliance if approval is granted.
We have a motion to go along with the engineer's recommendation.
Move.
Second. All in favor?
I'd like to
Okay.
talk about variances.
Yes, please.
As part of the current application, variances are sought with respect to the off-street parking setback. Setback is 6 feet from Avenue Estates versus 20 feet as per the UDO requirement, as well as variance sought with respect to loading spaces in front yard, and also design waivers would be necessary, including curbing along the Pine Street frontage, street trees along the Pine Street frontage, as well as a shade tree and utilities along Pine Street, and Boulevard and Roberta frontages.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, my name is Michael J. Gross, law firm of Giordano, Halloran, and Cecil, representing the applicant. Mr. Flannery is going to explain the application of the variances, but first I'd like to say that we recognize that there are concerns in the area by the neighbors with respect to traffic. Mr. Kennel is our traffic expert. He will have a full traffic report submitted by the required submission date, number one. And number two, we plan to meet with the neighbors, with Mr. Kennel, to try to explain to them what we're going to do with respect to traffic and to hear their concerns and try to address their concerns. So I thought I'd say that up front. So Mr. Flannery, will you please proceed?
Is the 21st enough time for you to meet all the neighbors?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Flannery, please.
The application is for 13 retail buildings on a 48-acre site. It's being done in 2 phases. The property is in the Cedar Bridge Development Tract on the corner of Pine Street and Avenue of the States. As indicated, there are a couple small variances that are being asked for, and at the public hearing, we'll show you the justification for those variances. One relates to loading spaces, and when you look at the design, that's the appropriate space for the loading spaces. And the one with the parking, in order to accommodate extra room in front of the buildings, the parking was moved back. We're providing 877 parking spaces, more than required by ordinance.
And in all this acreage, you couldn't figure out how to do it without any variances?
What's the question?
In all this acreage, you couldn't figure out how to do it without?
Well, we
these
can
variances?
do it without the variances, and it's not as good a job. And
You have
the,
more space, isn't there just?
but the front of this building has a 30-foot wide concrete area. So we're short 14 feet. We could reduce that down. It's not as good a project. And at the public hearing, we'll show you that. And if the board says you'd rather have that be 16 feet and make the 20 feet, we'll change the plans to do it. I think when you see the presentation at the public hearing, you'll agree that in this particular location, if we did that on Pine Street, where we were infringing on our neighbors, it'd be a different story. This is on the Avenue of the States, where you're near the stadium, you're near all the other development.
Brian, technically, you can make this a variance-free application.
We could make it a variance-free application. It would not be as good a project.
Okay.
What other uses are permitted there? No. Do you know offhand?
I
You
could,
don't have the list, right?
I don't have the list.
Present that when you do your testimony, you know,
What the uses will be.
what the
Yes. Yep.
And you said you're over, you have 800 parkings?
We're 877 parking spaces. We're exceeding the ordinance standard. And this also requires a minor subdivision, and I think they were listed both under the same item on the agenda, and the minor subdivision is de minimis.
I would like to hear, if possible, how the Pine Street traffic is going to be addressed.
Well,
You have a traffic engineer.
this is a permitted use, so
No, I just want to know how Pine Street traffic will be, I know it's permitted.
well, the traffic's going to be addressed because we have entrances out onto Avenue of the States,
How is the traffic on Pine Street gonna be addressed?
Are you adding another couple of lanes onto Pine Street?
No, we're not, but if you, when the traffic report is submitted and you see the capacity of Pine Street and you see the impact of this, there's actually traffic benefits to this in that people don't have to drive to the other side of town to shop. They don't have to, there's shopping and employment opportunities in this location, and all of those details get addressed in the traffic report, which we've indicated will be submitted in
When-
advance of the
When
public
will I
hearing.
get a copy of the traffic report?
Excuse me, may I say one thing on behalf of Pine River Valley Homeowners Association?
1 second, no.
You'll get your chance.
What, she's an attorney?
She's an attorney.
I'm an
Okay.
attorney.
Counsel, could you make your appearance?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Brittany. I'm with Lieberman and Blecker. It's a law firm in Princeton. We represent River Village and Somerset Walk. We have many of our residents with us tonight. Yes, please. Brittany DeBoard. DEBORD.
You know, sir, one of the things we can't have is we can't have someone in the front orchestrating like a group response. It's just improper decorum for this board. Please respect our procedure, and we'll make every effort to respect your opposition.
Understood.
So please, it's a two-way street, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. And asking everybody to stand up, it's improper for the board to consider that, and it's very disruptive. So please
Okay,
respect
well,
our
only happened
decorum, and
once.
we'll respect it. I'm sorry, Brittany, you said your first name, what's your last name?
It's DeBoard, DEBORD.
Thank you. Okay, if you could just let Mr. Gross finish,
Yes.
and then you'll get, thank you.
If the board has no any other questions,
Oh, I had a question. I just
Sure.
want to know how the Pine Street traffic is going to be addressed. Oh, no, you said we're going to submit a traffic report. When am I going
Correct.
to see that? When am I going to see that?
well, if it's scheduled for the 21st, then you'll see it before the 19th.
The
Of January.
regulations require that it's submitted 10 days in advance of the hearing.
It'll be 2 weeks in advance of the hearing.
least.
At least 2 weeks.
At least 2
Ally.
weeks.
At least 2 weeks in advance of the hearing.
Request, I know you sent us the plans.
January 19th is the date I requested revised plans and all of that documentation for the other ones.
Could you send us the traffic report too, not just the plans? Thank you for the plans that you sent.
Yes, I can scan the traffic report in and email it.
Thank you
Yes,
very much, it
that's
helps a
your
lot.
question.
Yes, okay, thanks. So we can have it for 19th. Okay,
All right.
are you finished?
Yes,
Okay.
And
Miss-
counsel, did you have something you wanted to add?
Yeah,
Gross?
Mrs. Board?
Right, or you-
Please.
yes, I didn't know that there was any dialogue in
Well, we
these
just
meetings.
said that she could address the board.
As a courtesy to the attorney, we'll allow her
Okay.
to address the board for.
We're not going to let her-
Thank you. Well, as you can tell, our clients are very concerned about the traffic issue, and I would just like to put on the record that we would very much like to be part of the discussion in terms of traffic calming methods, proposing things that would ensure the safety of our residents, which is in everyone's priority as far as we're concerned. And we look forward to being part of these discussions. As soon as you get the traffic report, Ms. Morris, if you could pass that along to us. And I would just like to say, we look forward to working with you. We don't oppose this development. We're just very concerned about the traffic, as you can tell.
Right, I would,
I think Mr. Gross said
suggest that you
before,
make a meeting, if you'd like Mr. Vogt to participate in that, we can have it here at Town Hall, and this is exactly the type of thing we'd like to try to have, so.
Yes, of
If
course.
you could schedule that meeting, Mr. Vogt, I'm sure you would make yourself
Excuse
available.
me, a meeting for what? I didn't understand.
between the
Your
attorneys.
council requested a meeting to try to have a dialogue to see if there's some
For the
mutual
public-
areas
of
where.
the public-
The public will have a portion
No,
by
the
the,
public would not be part of that.
And I mean,
By the
we
public
had
meeting.
proposed a meeting, and we're glad to have Mr. Vogt as part of that meeting.
okay.
I mean, as I said initially, we recognize that there's a traffic issue, and we would love to resolve it before the February
We'll sit down
21st.
with our opposing attorneys.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
thank you very much.
I want your traffic report, I'm telling you what I'm going to be looking for. Your traffic report has to address that there's currently it currently takes to drive down Pine Street. You probably sit in traffic during busy times 25 minutes, okay? Now, you add one car to Pine Street, that's one car that can't handle. So something has to be done to Pine Street in order for this development to move forward and to have any outflow onto Pine Street.
Seriously.
indicated to me that he doesn't think it's appropriate for the board.
That's fine.
To be involved in meetings. So meet amongst yourselves and, hopefully you'll be able to narrow the issues down.
Sure.
Thank you.
In other applications, we were looking for revised plans by January 19th, but given that we're also trying to coordinate a meeting and the plans may need to be revised to reflect that, I would go with the following week. I think that still gives enough time to get revised plans and the traffic study completed, and then still gives Mr. Vogt time to review those revised plans before the public hearing.
Right, we'd really like to meet with the homeowners before we submit a final traffic report, so that we can incorporate, suggestions that they make that we agree with.
When should we advance
So
this
we're
to?
looking for, we'll still be looking at the February 21st public hearing, but we're looking for revised plans January 26th. And then if we have difficulties in there, we may have some leeway to take them a little later depending on Mr. Vogt's schedule. But if we can't accommodate that, we'll have to carry it to a future public hearing after that.
February 21st and the
February
revised
21st
plans,
meeting, revised plans by January 26th.
January 26th.
Right, and we'll provide the traffic report by then also.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if we ought to do this. Could Remington review the report as well and give us an opinion on it?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'd like to see something.
Okay, we'll have them,
All those in favor of advancing this to February 21st, 2017?
Motion.
Second.
okay, all in favor?
Opposed?
None.
Members of the public,
Thank
be
you.
advised, SB 2218, the application of Lakewood Shopping Village LLC has been advanced. Will be on February 21st, 2017, 6 o'clock. This meeting. There will be no further notice.